Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sports City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sports City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sports City right now. This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English Fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105. Good afternoon, everybody. How is everybody doing? My name is Simon Preston, and welcome to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the channel where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. Tata Boss, how are you doing? Hope you are doing well. Hope you are doing well. How are you? How the family is doing? Poppy Crow, big up. Silver medal. And Lil Wizkid Wicked gets the bronze medal as it relates to the comments. Guys, if you haven't already, smash the like button. And after you smash the like button, you hit the subscribe button as well, because we are this close, literally this close to, that's right, 16,000 subscribers. Very, very close. Very, very close. So you guys know what you have to do. Smash the subscribe button. Smash the subscribe button. And that's right. We progress forward from there. So, folks, how was everybody's Sunday going? Did you guys go to your respective place of worship this morning to give God thanks for a new day He's brought you and everything He's brought to your life, and for the blessings to come into your life soon? Is anybody cooking today? Why nobody not invite me over for some chicken? I like brown stew chicken, I like curry chicken. Like, yeah, anything chicken, me eat that. Nobody no invite me over for dinner. Eat that with some salad, you know. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't invite me over for dinner, man. Sure, man. Roger Grant says, bonjour, ami. Bonjour, mon ami, ça va? Ça va? Je suis très fatigué maintenant, mais je suis très heureux parce que maintenant, je parle de le foot en Jamaïque et j'adore le foot. J'adore le foot, le basket, le cricket, et il y a beaucoup de sports dans Jamaïque. Et en Jamaïque, je pense qu'il y a beaucoup de passion et bonheur pour le sport. Et à mon avis, je voudrais voir Jamaïque gagner le Coupe du Monde, à mon avis. So, yeah, that's where we are where things are concerned. Chadwick, Lyle, Lissel, how are you? Greetings. Hope you guys are doing well. If you guys haven't already, smash the like button. And after you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. So, before we get specifically into what happened, why are you saying wow for? Before we specifically get into the point in relation to the matters of the title of this video, two things I want to address right now. All right, two things I want to address. And the first thing is this, because for some people, there are a lot of, there's two things I would like to say. And the first thing is this, all right? The views of Simon Preston. Warren Webster, how are you doing, sir? Big up. Another snowstorm in the north at work, but Bunny banging. Three-timer, hat-trick against Sheffield. Once again, Lancashire triumphs over Yorkshire. That's right, 7-0 victory. And Drew Spence on the target against London City Lionesses, scoring against Atlanta Premises team. That's right. So she's on the score sheet as well. So there's two things I want to discuss before we get into this topic in particular. I want to make it clear that the views of Simon Preston, the opinions of Simon Preston, let me rephrase that. The views, the opinions of Mr. Blake Cataract are not necessarily the views of Simon Preston. I've received phone calls that I am banging on Coach Maron Gordon and beating him for not calling Zach Lovelace to the squad. And that is absolutely false. False. 150% false. I have respect for Cataract. He is a good human being, and I have all the respect in the world. I want to make it clear, the same opinion or view he has might not necessarily how I might view things. Just like everybody in human being, we all say eye to eye on things. There were some comments made on JD's show yesterday, and many were asking if that is my opinion. As I've said, and if you guys missed it, as it relates to some comments made in the newspaper, Cameron Eubank and Zach Lovelace were not waiting on England call-ups. In fact, England is not even on their mind. It's Jamaica that is on their mind. So, the view of Simon Preston is the view of Simon Preston alone. Alone. Next thing, one of the loyal subscribers asked to bring this up. He wants to know why I think Erik ten Hag took off Rashford when he was about to set the club record. He said, I mean, if it was just a record of the most goals scored, I could understand that. Maybe he said, okay, let's rest him and he can get the record next year. But no, it's a record for scoring in 10 consecutive games at home. That opportunity is now gone. It is going to be extremely difficult for anyone to beat that record again, and it could quite possibly take another lifetime. So, Mr. Campbell, I have raised your point. And what I will say in relation to that matter, if I was Erik ten Hag, I would have given Rashford that opportunity to go and play and try to break the record. That's personally what I would have done. So it's unfortunate because I am in full agreement with you that the next person that could do that, it's hard to tell at this point in time. Unless an Mbappe comes to United or Greenwood eventually, I can't see it happening. I can't. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So now that I've gotten those two things out of the way, let's get right into the point, shall we? And if you guys haven't already, why haven't you smashed the like button? Smash the like button and smash the subscribe button. It's as simple as that. All right. Thanks for clearing the air. Blessings. So again, the views of Mr. Blake Cataract are not necessarily the views of Simon Preston. What Mr. Blake might say on different platforms is not necessarily my view. I don't have a problem with his opinion. It's his opinion. We all have free will. God gave us free will. I'm just making it clear. His opinion is not necessarily my opinion. There are things that we do see eye to eye with in terms of the best team must always take the field. I believe that there are many ways for the diaspora to be engaged. The first time, this first ever video on YouTube, as you remember, there was a video in relation to passports, which was 2 hours. And we touched on how the Jamaican consulate can, in the UK, could send them a case of Jamaican goodies to make them feel at home. So there are many things that we agree on, but I just want to make that clear. All right. If I'm being quite frank with you, Ronald Scott, I'm not sure what language that is. I really am not sure. I'm not sure at all. Okay, guys. So let's get to the video. Now, as you remember, there was almost 2 weeks ago, Coach Halgrimsson spoke in relation to the matter of the Jamaican style and what we can expect from it, and getting to know the Jamaican-based players, the domestic-based players, and what they will be able to bring to the show, to the fore, and everything of that nature. So with all of that being said, remember that one of the first things he said was about being defensively solid, being defensively structured. So ensuring that base first is covered. So what does that tell you? Well, it tells you quite frankly that will be a priority to ensure that will be done accurately. Now, you'll remember JT Taylor came on the program and he said that what you find a lot with 4-4-2s is 1-0s, 1-0s, 2-1s, and that is true. We're used to seeing Jamaican in that 4-3-3, aren't we? However, against Argentina, we didn't see that, right? What did we see against Argentina? Well, we saw a 4-4-2. Let me put in the names of what we saw in that game in particular for you guys. So you guys are aware of everything and following exactly. Argentina played their 4-3-3, while Jamaica had a 4-4-2 formation. All right. And next adapts over here. And Antonio here. Right. So this is how the team took the field against Argentina. All right. 4-4-2. That's right, guys. Smash the like button. Have some manners, viewers. Do the right thing. Let's get this over 50 likes. And if you get this to 100 likes within the next 5 minutes, then I'll give you a little treat. All right. So this is a team that the Jamaican used when they took on Argentina. How did Argentina line up? Argentina lined up like this. It was along this sort of line. In the middle, there was 3. And up top, they had Di Maria, Martinez, and Alvarez. Right. So that's how they looked. This is how they looked, Argentina. And what happened with their front 3? They got themselves into these pockets of space. Right? And when they got the ball in these sorts of areas, they knew that Jamaica, right here, because you had Low coming a bit tight and Bell in these sorts of areas as well, they knew that centrally presented its challenges. And we saw what happened with the first goal. Ball came out to the left-hand side. Ball coming into this sort of area. And a finish here. When you're playing a 4-4-2, you're going to be compact. And when you're compact, there is that element of being narrow. And when you are narrow in these sorts of areas, what does that tell you? Quite specifically, it shows you that spaces here and here, there will be spaces to exploit. However, under Coach Halgrimsson, when you're bearing in mind those sorts of areas, those sorts of positions, and the more he spends time with the Jamaican team and implementing this back four and this 4-4-2 shape, working more with the players will help them to be able to understand their functions, their roles, to nullify and neutralize these sorts of opportunities that the opposition would get. So defensively, solid. Midfield will also be the same as well. So what do you have here? 1, 2 banks of 4. When Jamaica is not in possession, and you have one person pressing, let's say it's Antonio and Nicholson is in these sorts of area. If you get the ball past Antonio, it's imperative that Nicholson would come in a bit more centrally to try to close this guy down or force him to play the ball in these sorts of areas. Because if you allow him to turn, then you basically beat the first line. You make it difficult for the opposition. You make it challenging for them when they have the ball. If we're not going to have the ball, we're going to make life hard for you when you have it. And that is something that you can expect under Coach Halgrimsson. Okay, all right, you made a turn. You made a turn on your possession. Well, come forward. You're tight. So you know very much well, especially with Johnson in this sorts of area, you have two options. You're going to play it back and bring Antonio and Nicholson Co into the game, or you go out wide where Dexter Daps, Bobby Reed will cover things. So you're forcing the opposition now to go long, a through ball, which could be tallied up by a break, or to play back. So the timing of the challenges, the timing of wanting to press is also critical and important in this 4-4-2 system from a defensive standpoint. 4-4-2 is still a system moving forward in football. 4-4-2 is still a good system. 4-4-2 offers a strong defensive presence across the entire pitch with compactness, balance, and cover easy to establish in a high press, mid block, or low block. Finally, it also provides the perfect balance for counter-attacking football. And we know when it comes to counter-attacking football, this is the benefit. Jamaica, especially with the pace and power that they possess. Teams that set up in a 4-4-2 have the numbers to defend in a compact deep block to lure the opposition forward, but enough of a central presence to initiate counters and link in a variety of forward runners. So compactness, as we mentioned, compactness in these sorts of areas, 2 banks of 4, low block or mid block. So you're making life difficult for the opposition right there. So what can we expect? The Jamaicans will be hard to beat. The Jamaicans will be hard to beat against whoever they play in football. Under Coach Halgrimsson, Jamaica has played 2 games so far. And I want you to process this for a moment. Jamaica has played 2 games under Coach Halgrimsson. And 3 of the 4 goals that Jamaica have conceded have come after the 75th minute, or basically the last quarter of the game, which gives the impression that Jamaica do well. The only goal that Jamaica has conceded in terms of a first half goal was Alvarez in the 13th minute against Argentina. And of course, that was Coach Halgrimsson's first game in charge of Jamaica. Apart from that, Messi scored in the 86th minute, Messi scored in the 89th minute, and Cameroon's Kaiba scored in the 75th minute and equalizer after Justin McMaster gave Jamaica the lead in the 60th minute. So that tells you everything right there. Jamaica will be difficult. And these two banks of four in these sorts of areas are critical. These two form a solid defensive base for the Jamaicans. And I know you guys might be saying, okay, what are the disadvantages to playing this 4-4-2? And I see the comments, guys, and I'm going to get to the comments quite shortly. What are the disadvantages of playing a 4-4-2? Well, teams setting up in a 4-4-2 can force or face overloads in central midfield, particularly against opposition fielding a midfield three. So you could have 3v2s like this. You could have situations like this because you have Johnson and Morrison. They're the two central midfielders, so to speak, but you have an overload right here, a 3v2, right? So that's something that would have to be navigated from that sort of angle. Despite the compactness this formation offers, it is susceptible to line-breaking passes. One good pass can take out 4 players at once or even 3 players. A defensive formation such as the 4-1-4-1 offers great cover between the lines. In possession, with the midfield line of 4 setup, similar to the back line behind it, players can sometimes block off the team's forward passing options. It is arguably more difficult for teams to set up as such to create as many passing options as teams with more players playing on different horizontal or vertical lines. So sometimes a 4-1-4-1 can be the difference. And of course, I don't expect Ravel Morrison to be a defensive midfielder for Jamaica. Ever. Again. That Panama game now. So 4-1-4-1. You have somebody that has a link from the defense to the midfield as this defensive midfielder. So the opposition, if they get the ball past Antonio, they have one line. If they get past this line, then you also have another line here. Of course, the back 4. So a 4-1-4-1 is a solution in some instances to this sort of situation. See what you guys are saying in the comments. Let's say 227 says, what are you saying about specifically? Di Maria behind Martinez and Alvarez, I think it was. Yeah. Simon, based on the players you have, BJ would be used as a defensive midfielder, but that's not his strongest position. You're absolutely correct with that, BM, 100%. I think Jamaica should use 4-2-3-1. It's more fluid system, fluid formation, and fits the skill set of our players as BM. I fully get what you're saying as well, BM. It looks like 4-4-2 is the way moving forward with Jamaica. And it's something that we can expect. Even look at the game that Jamaica had against Cameroon. Cameroon, 4-3-3. The Jamaicans, we went Jamali Waite in goal, Damian Lowe and Topi, central defense, Javain Brown and Ricardo Thomas, back 4. Yeah, back 4. Kevin Lambert, Harvey, Walker, and up top, Fletcher, McGregor, and Justin McMaster. On the second half, on the bench, Richard King got his chance, Trevante Stewart got his chance, Busy Atkinson, Demario Phillips, Malik Howell, Colorado Murray. Kemar Foster did not play. So in a sense, Jamaica went 4-3-3 in this game in particular, 4-4-2, depending on when they had possession in the ball. Russell would have been better at central midfield, but he did not have his passport before the Argentina game. He certainly would have been. KY says, blessings, Simon. Blessings, how are you? Hope you're doing well. How are things? Ronnie 90 says, also Brown went out and they put Paris in, and he is not a right back. Who are you saying that is not a right back? You're saying Javin. Oh, Paris. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that 100%. I fully understand what you mean. Okay. I understand that completely. Cool. If Ethan Pinnock was there for centre back, that would have been a plus. So Ethan Pinnock and Damien Lowe for you. I think the coach should really focus on getting two solid players in that CDM position. You really want to start with two defensive midfielders, Warren, because this is something that has been done for well over a decade. From the Rudolph Austin to the Jason Morrison situation, from the Jason Morrison to Rudolph Austin, Jason Morrison, Marvin Elliott, and Rudolph Austin. We've looked at different combinations, haven't we? Reed should have moved to right back, but he is not the best defensively. When Fulham plays a back three and he plays a right wing back, he looks good. He looks good. They should have had Harding there. Then they could have played him at right back, or like a 3-5-2 if no CDM. A midfield three does look good. I agree with BM on the 4-2-3-1. That would suit us best, in my opinion. But you know what happens when you have that two defensive midfielders? One of those players, when you have two defensive midfielding options, you're taking away one of those two person that could be in a more creative position. That's one of the, stumbling blocks, you could say, of that 4-2-3-1 sort of system, So I get what you're saying as it relates to the 4-2-3-1, but it does have its benefits. It provides a central midfield three that can overload a midfield two. So that's something that a 4-2-3-1 can do. And the number 10 provides a presence between the lines and can receive in space when up against a flat midfield. And one of the key reasons why the 4-2-3-1 formation has gained prominence within the last almost 2 decades or so is because of the sense of balance that it provides. The combination of a back four with two central defensive midfielders give teams a strong degree of defensive stability. So 4-2-3-1. All right. I just hope Grimmy is not a European version of Tapo. Not at all. Not at all. Far from it. Either that or a 3-4-1-2. 3-4-3. It's still a challenging one with the 3-4-3, J-Ross, because you have two midfielders there and you're basically susceptible to being overloaded in that area. So that's a challenge from that angle. What's up, Simon? J-Ross up and working on a Sunday. Yeah, for sure. Bless up for the Warren Webster. Yeah. Yep. We need DJ Spence. It would be a good option. Bobby Reed is a utility player. A player like him is always an asset. Remember Andy Lowe? Of course. Defense at the World Cup, but centre forward in qualifiers. 2002 cycle. Wow. We need another EPL Championship centre back. Levi Colwill. That's German, okay. Guten Tag. The team needs EPL Championship midfielders. Russell, In 4-2-3-1-1, of the whole midfielders can be a deep line creative mid like a Perlo or a Pogba. Yes, they can occupy that role. It's one that can be utilized, so I'm not going to brush it aside. So it is something that can work out quite well. It offers balance in modern day football as well. Look at this team, Simon. 3-4-1-2. Blake, Pinnock, Latibadir, Bell, Brown, Reed, Russell, Ravel, Bailey, Hutchinson, J-Lo, Antonio. Okay. Blake, Pinnock, Latibadir, and Bell. So those are the three center halves. Okay, you have in Bell as a left center half. All right. Brown, Reed, Russell. Decent team. I give it a 8 out of 10. Yeah, I give that 11 an 8 out of 10. Waiting on England, my friend. Give me a little beside Latibadir. Okay. Got it. What's the deal with Morgan Gibbs-White? Morgan Gibbs-White has not been contacted, sir. So that is the latest in relation to that situation. So that's where we are in that matter. So that's what we can say there, you know. But if you guys have questions, then go right ahead. Go right ahead. I agree with J. Ross, like a player like Dr. Glass that can progress the ball. Dr. Glass. Okay. All right. Well, let's do it then. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying. Simon, please shed some light on Levi Colwill. Okay, guys. Levi Colwill was born in the UK and he's of Jamaican heritage. He's 19 years old. He's going to be 20 in February. He started off his career at City Central and went to Chelsea. Went on loan last season at Huddersfield Town, played 29 games in the Championship and impressed. This season he's gotten Premier League experience and is at Brighton and Hove Albion. He hasn't played for Chelsea just yet, but I expect him to figure as part of Chelsea's plans when he goes back. He's 6'2" and he's 19. Men stop growing when they're 21, so he could very, very well gain another inch or two. He's in the England under 21s right now, but if there's one person right now as a centre half, it would be Levi Colwill. Levi Colwill for me would be the one that I would love to have in the mix. Levi Colwill is a general, a real general, you know. That's not somebody that you can avoid at all. Someone that is truly special, you know. Yeah. So yeah. I did as what's the deal on Dimitri Mitchell's BAHD. I did a what's the deal on that on Friday, so you can go and watch it. All right. What's the deal with Reese Oxford, Mason Holgate, Rika Henry, DJ Spence, Lewis Baker? I've done videos of those men, my friend. Have you been watching? Have you subscribed to the channel? If you haven't already, smash the like button. And after you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button as well. Who is Dr. Glass? Someone who gets injured very often. Reese Oxford, somebody that none of those names you've mentioned have been contacted, but Lewis Baker is supposed to have a conversation with Ricardo Fuller soon. What's the deal with Omar Richards? He's not been contacted, my friend. The left back, Nathan Ferguson, you're talking about? He's not been contacted, sir. So that's where we are, where that matter is concerned. Let's see what else you guys are saying. in the chat. Saw an article on Rangers FC suggesting Lovelace is seen as a future England striker, noting Jamaica's interest in him. Okay. Well, I can confirm to you, Nitro, and like I said at the start of the show, I know many people would have seen the Gleaner article and would wondered what Coach Merrin Gordon was saying about players waiting for US and England call-ups because Jamaica is second choice. He was not making mention to Cameron Eubank or Lovelace. He was not making mention to Cameron Eubank, Zach Lovelace, Kimani Ryan. He was not making mention to those persons at all. At all. Those persons were not individuals that is making mention in that interview because, like I said, I was there at Veer on Thursday. And when the reporter of the newspaper asked him the question that was asked to Merrin Gordon was, any more new additions to the squad? He did not specify Eubank, Lovelace, or Ryan. He did not name names. The question that was asked to Merrin Gordon was, any new additions to the squad? And Merrin Gordon simply said, we're going to work with what we have. So Merrin Gordon was not insinuating that Zach Lovelace or Cameron Eubank or Kimani Ryan were Jamaica were second choices for those men. Latte Bodier has played mostly as a right back or right midfield for his club this season. So maybe Jamaica can try him there. Right back. Right back would be an option. Yeah, that is an option. Right midfield. Something to consider, but I'm willing to look at him at right back for sure. BM says, I'd love if we get Marcus Edwards. What do you think about him? As I've made mention on the show many times, BM, I rate Marcus Edwards really, really highly as a player. And I think it's just a matter of time before Marcus Edwards actually returns to England. And personally, I would love to see him being a Jamaican international. Marcus is 24, going on 25 later this year. And personally for me, Marcus, I'd call him up tomorrow morning. The balance that he possesses as a winger and also attacking midfielder. I saw him briefly when he was at Norwich and when he was over in Holland at Excelsior. And now in Portugal, he's progressing really well. This is his best ever season as a professional football player. 9 goals in 29 appearances in all competitions. Mitchell from Palace would be a great option. Yeah, Tyreek Mitchell would be good, wouldn't it, Mr. Vincent? Crack says, good luck, boys. I can't wait to see Jamaica and Honduras being protagonists again. Interesting. Protagonists again. That's an interesting one, you know? Really, really interesting. Tyrone Williams says, blessing, Simon. Blessing, Tyrone. How are you? What happened to Max Arance? Who is Max Arance? I don't know who that is, you know. You're going to have to specify for me, but I don't know who that person is that you're talking about. Man, lots of better players right man when he plays as zero back. There's a sort of right wing back. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that for sure. Yeah, that's okay with me. No problem there at all. That's all right. Merrin Gordon shouldn't have said that in public. He's a national coach. Which statement are you referring to? Are you referring to the point in relation to the matter of second choice? Is that what you're referring to, or are you referring to something else? Do bring some clarity as it relates to that matter. What's the name of the West Ham right back? Ben Johnson? Yeah, Ben Johnson's a good lad. Really, really good lad. No, Ben Johnson has not been contacted. Oh, Max Aarons he's talking about. Okay. Nothing happened to Max Aarons. Nothing happened to Max. Not all happened to him. Did Ben Johnson has not been contacted. BM says Marcus Lawrence is a better creative midfielder than Ravel. His performances are showing that at this point in time. His performances at this point in time are showing all of those elements. It's a good one, eh? But yeah, good coaching staff we have with, when you're bearing in mind, John Wall, Colvidson, Gudmundur Hreidarsson, the goalkeeper coach. Yeah. So yeah, quite a bit, eh? Something to ponder on. Max has not been contacted, sir, in that sense. So to answer your question, no. To answer your question. Let me know if that answers your question. And if you guys have further questions, then go right ahead. Go right ahead and let's answer a few more questions. That's what you guys are saying. I think somebody mentioned last week Tarek Mitchell is processing his Jamaican documents. I'll do some digging on that matter. Who has the coach been in dialogue with? He's been in dialogue with the Jamaica Football Federation. He's been in dialogue with myself. He's been in dialogue with Devon Porter. He's been in dialogue with Omar Stennett. He's been in dialogue with many Jamaicans. So, yeah. Quite a bit in that sort of angle. So, there, as you guys remember, there was a point that coach said that the Jamaican style and everything of that matter. So, it's something to think about as well. I think True Grant from Man City should be the understudy as goalkeeper. I think Kanai Boyce Clark should be the understudy to Andre Blake. I want Andre Blake to be tested this year, to really push. Kanaya, for me, is the next to the throne. Kanaya Boyce Clark. Will scouts continue to contact possible players, or will the coaches take over that task? No, scouts will have that responsibility and reach out to the agents of those respective players. We need to focus on more midfield and defense. Yeah, the coach said it himself that those are the areas that he'll be looking to improve upon. Marcus Edwards is more of a right wing and not really a central midfielder. I get that, Ronnie, but he can operate in a position centrally. It might not be his best position, but he can operate centrally. So yeah, would fully get your point. Yeah. So I get that 100%. If Maron Gordon going to use a system based on the players he has? So my question is that which system is he now selecting the players off if he didn't have a plan? He didn't say that he didn't have a plan. I'm not sure if you listened to the press conference that he gave. But to answer your question, he's using a 4-4-2 and clogging the middle. So basically the two central midfielders are very, very close to each other. And in relation to the wider midfielders, they also occupy somewhat of a central position. But when they are in possession, they will go wide and press forward. I think our local clubs should build back the connection we had with clubs in Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. I don't want to say that those relationships have ended, but in terms of the situation of sending players in those sorts of leagues, I'll have to agree with you there. But I don't. But to say that those relationships are deceased is not fair. But I will agree that Scandinavia is a market that needs to be utilized more often. We saw so much players go over there, so much players from the Luton Sheltons to the Caris to the DeMar Phillips to the Fabian Taylors to the Dwayne Carr, and I know I'm still leaving off players like Deshaun Brown, and I know I'm still leaving off players like Damian Lowe. You know, I think for this central midfield position, we should use Casey Palmer and Amari Hutchinson going forward, with DJ and Ravel as central midfielders. Sound like the 4-4-2 will be our national system going forward. Yes, that is correct. His priority is England. I wouldn't be so stern like Mr. Campbell, but Marcus, his first choice is England. Do I think he's going to get an England call up? Not playing in Portugal. But when he's 28, 29, he's going to realize the mistake he made. Simon, how come Guadeloupe is playing in the Under-17 Championship? What will happen if they make the last four? Remember, Roger, Guadeloupe are a CONCACAF and a CFU member. They're not a FIFA member. And this is not the first time that Guadeloupe are playing in a CONCACAF championship. They also compete at the CONCACAF Gold Cup, and they're also at the 2011 edition of the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship, which was hosted in Guatemala. If Guadeloupe were to finish within the top four, then the best quarterfinal loser will take their place within the will take their place at the World Cup. So Guadeloupe cannot qualify for any FIFA tournament. Same thing for Martinique as well. So if Guadeloupe was to get into the semifinals, then the best quarterfinal loser will advance to the Under-17 FIFA World Cup. Also, didn't the coach say he was going to talk to overseas players? Yes. Is that 4-4-2 the same as what we in the States call parking the bus or bunkering? No. You can play 4-4-2 and not necessarily parking the bus. The good thing about Scandinavia, it is a stepping stone to bigger leagues in Europe. It is. Scandinavia, Eastern Europe. I would actually even prefer Eastern Europe over Scandinavia, but Scandinavia is also a building block as well. Dr. Grimmy wants to be defensively sound, and I get it. Our discipline, especially at the end of the games, is suspect. Our players need to work on the mental side of their game. I will agree that there are room for improvements, Mr. Webster, for sure. Casey Palmer is in good form, currently our most informed number 10. He is in good form, isn't he? Roger says, despite Cuba being a baseball country, I'll be watching our first game against Cuba in the Under-17 Championship with my Cuban friends. You're going to Guatemala, Roger Grant? You're going to Guatemala? Really? You're going to Guatemala? Seriously? No. Seriously? You're going there? You're going to Guatemala for the championship itself? Do let me know. Yeah, I would love to know. I'd love to know. Yeah, I would really, really love to know. Fergie used that 4-4-2 and is great effect with United. Yep. Great effect. Great effect. Glory, man United. Glory, man United. Glory, man United. And the Reds go marching. Welcome to Old Trafford. It's the theater of dreams. The power and the glory and the heaven and we sing. That was the days that I did, and the Reds go marching on. Glory, man United. Glory, man United. Glory, man United. The 4-4-2 does not really use a CM, but it uses two central midfielders and a second striker. Indeed. I'm watching on TV or a stream. Okay, all right. Cool. Fully get that, what you're saying. But yeah, if you guys have further questions, do let me know. And let's hear what you guys have to say. Let's see what you guys got to say. Let's see what you guys got to say about that. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, if you haven't already, smash the like button. And after you smash the like button, and hit the subscribe button. All right, guys, because we're so close, very close to 16,000 subscribers. Can you imagine that? 16,000. Sweet 16. Yeah. I hope the under 17 have supporters at games in Guatemala. Jamaican supporters. I know there are a few Jamaicans living in the area. No. I rate Fergie as a coach, but when he called Rooney the white pellet, I was left scratching my head. What are you talking about, BM? Rooney is one of the greatest footballers to ever play the game. Rooney is the best scouser to ever kick a football. Oh boy, man, tell you. What do I think about Greg Lee at CDM? Interesting. Greg Lee at CDM. No, I prefer somebody more natural to the position. Manu is hot, but can stand the heat in the kitchen. Good one. Beside Palmer, Giovanni is in form. Simon, do you think that if Jamaica does well in the Gold Cup Nations League and qualify for the 2024 Copa America, more quality players will come on board? Yes, Natikanga, 1,050,000%. Yes. Kind of labeled as Halgrimsson a possession type of manager. Not necessarily. More energy, high work rate, work for the team, 4-4-2, defend for our life, grind out a 1-0 or 2-1 victory. I'd not say Rooney wasn't great. But Rooney won everything club-wise. Won everything. Rooney is my favorite football player. I guess that's why I guess it touched a nerve for me. But if Rooney had a Jamaican passport right now, I said, come, you and Shamar Nicholson up top. Anyone in the chat from England? I'm looking to invest in the National League South team. Any info on teams selling share? Freedom Blog FC. Check out Stretford Paddock FC. Johnson, Clark Harris, and Giovanni Brown are scoring goals. Yep, they score goals, and they're scoring goals consistently. Giovanni Brown is on fire. He won everything at club, but didn't do much at the international level. Yep, alongside many, many other players as well. He's not the only player. And we all know what Sven did. Sven went 4-4-2 and put Paul Scholes at left midfield, something that Coach Halgrimsson will not do. Coach Halgrimsson will not play a central midfielder at left back. So we can be sure about that. Sven was just different in that sort of approach. So that is what I'll say in terms of that angle of proceedings, So nothing that we should be worried about there. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I'll say there. Yes, folks, thanks very much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Yep, how can you put the great Scholes at left midfield just to accommodate Lampard and Gerrard? Gerrard a baller. Gerrard a coming. So far this season, I just don't know where the players are going to come and all that. So far this season. Yeah, of course. Gerrard a baller. Jordan says, big up Simon, wouldn't mind if you get to interview who's responsible for securing the papers for the players. I need to undo this last minute thing. Cool. Would you play Antonio and Bailey as a front two? Yes. We saw that as a front two when it took on the United States in the World Cup qualifiers. Sven-Göran Eriksson was a good coach, then went to England and ruined his reputation since BM. Memories that I don't want to remember. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you tuning into this video. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys haven't already, smash the like button. And after you smash the like button, and you hit the subscribe button. All right, guys? Please, please do that. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. All right, guys. Be safe. Take care. Lots more to come. Especially later today. Do another live later today. Smash the like button. And also hit the subscribe button to Reggae Boys Commentary right now.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English Fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.